Shalom Aleichem, everyone. We're continuing Hachzeik's learning of the Pele Yoetz. Today is day number 128, and we are in another one-day chapter called Beirur, which means extracting the Kedusha from this world, as we will see. Yadu, it's known, Shekol Bias Adam La'ilam Hazeh, the whole reason a person came to this world. If you're wondering why you came here, now you're about to learn. Shekol bias ha'adam la'ilam hazeh, and it's known, by the way, says the Pele Yoetz, everybody knows why we came to this world. V'chol ha'golius shana seivlim, all of the exiles that we have to be sober, that we have to endure. Ha'koil hu kedei levarer nitzaitze ha'kedusha. Everything is in order that we should be extracting the sparks of Kedusha, asher nispazu ben ha'klipos, that have been spread out amongst the klipos, which are like the shells of impurity that are holding things back. V'zeh kol pri tefiloseinu, this is the purpose of all of our prayers, u'mitzvoseinu, and all of the mitzvahs that we do, v'limudeinu, and all of the Torah that we learn, v'lazeh tzarich lechaven, and this is what a person has to be mechaven to have in mind when they are davening, when they are learning, when they are doing mitzvahs. That I want to bring out the sparks of Kedusha that are in this world. And this, like the Ohr HaChaim HaKadosh writes in the Chumash, the reason that HaKadosh Baruch Hu sends us around the world in Galus is because in every land that Klal Yisrael goes to, there's nitzotzis of Kedusha, there's sparks of Kedusha that a Jew has to bring out from that place. They're being trapped by the klipos, by these shells of impurity, and they cannot escape. But when a Jew comes there and he does his mitzvahs, and he davens his tefillos, and he says his brachas, and he learns his Torah, and he does chesed, and he works on his midos, and he conquers his Yetzer Hara, it brings out the Kedusha that is in this world. V'chein tzarich lechaven v'zeh b'chol achila u'shasiya, and he should have this in mind with everything he eats and everything he drinks. V'kol doichak v'tzar v'titulim, and all the difficulties that one will endure. Ushmadois shesaivlim Yisrael begalius, and all of the times that the goyim tried to wipe out our religiosity, our neshama, who we really are. Begalius, in the exiles, hakoil hu ta'eles godolin, everything is for this purpose. Why are we in Galus in America right now? It must be that there's sparks of Kedusha that every single Yid has to pull out from this place, that we have to bring to our Kodesh Baruch Hu, as is about to say in a beautiful mashal coming up, how we should understand this. Therefore, tzarich l'kibuleinu be'ava, we have to accept everything that we go through in this world, be'ava, with love. Ki akol ka'ayin neged avas habayra, everything is like nothing compared to the love that we have for Hashem. And the great nachas ruach, the pleasure that we can place before the kisei hakavod, Hashem's throne of glory. There is no greater nachas ruach than this. Every neshama that is in this world, every spark of kedusha that's in this world, it's a piece of the Rebbeinu Shalom. What is this comparable to? What's the mashal that I can give you, says the Pele Yoetz. If the children of the king, his beloved children, they were taken captive by biyad tsar, by an enemy, and they are sitting and they are captive in a place that is narrow, that is constricting, and it's dark, and it's like death over there. Shegadol Tzar HaMelech, how great is the pain of the king that he knows that his children have been taken away, and they're in captivity, and they're living a miserable life. You hear stories going on now with the hostages that were released about the tremendous deprivation and the horrific conditions that they were living in. The king of the universe, he knows that the king over here in this mashal, in this parable, he knows how difficult it is that his children are living. And the person who comes along and redeems the children of the king, he does tremendous kindness to the king. And the king is going to do tremendous kindness and pay him back as well. Kein hadavar hazeh. The same thing is true in this world. B'tzad dimyoin lefi mashi yad sichleinu magas. As much as a person can possibly understand, the sparks of Kedusha are like the children of the Rebbeinu Shalom, the neshamas that need to be released in this world. They're like the children of Hashem, that they're stuck in the klipos, in these very impure coverings and peels and nuts and shells and the like. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is in anguish that the nitzotzis of Kedusha, that the sparks of Kedusha are trapped and they're in captivity. When you come with your Torah, when you come with your mitzvahs, when you come with your avodas Hashem, and you release the sparks of Kedusha, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, thank you, Yedidi. Thank you, my precious one, my beloved one. You saved my sparks of Kedusha and the neshamas in this world from being released. And therefore we will be repaid generously from the Rebbeinu Shalom. Kain Adavar, like we said, v'oid le'eloika milin devar matikim, and there are many, many other things that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to say and what He's going to do to explain the very mystical ideas of this, that the sparks of Kedusha that are in the world are up for us to grab onto when we do the right things. From here we can understand how terrible is a sinner, and specifically someone who ends up wasting their seed. Someone who wastes their seed. It causes that the klipa, that the shell itself is oppressing holy neshamas. What happens really when a person has a seed? It's supposed to be able to give birth to a child, to bring more neshamas into this world. If you waste your seed, Rahman al-Islam, says the Pele Yoetz, so then all those neshamas, they get destroyed. The neshamas that could have been born, those sparks of Kedusha, those sparks, they're lost, they're gone, they become oppressed. And they have to go back down into the klipos down here in this world. And now you have more that you have to be mechadish, more that you have to break free from the klipos. How much pain you caused HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the Shechina as a result of the loss of life, of neshamas and the like. Those neshamas, those souls now are like they are trapped in a prison. And they are wailing like someone that is in grave danger. And the Shechina itself is wailing and crying as well. And it cries out, if only my head would be like water. And my eyes would be like a water source. And I would cry day and night as Chalali Bas Ami, over the slain of my children, meaning those neshamas that got lost in the Shich Vazer Levatala, in the wasted seed. It's enormous pain to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Ma'aleim Amar Dovid HaMelech says in Tehillim, Tava levanecha enkas asir, let the groans of the prisoner come before me. Ki goydol zorecha, great is your might, Hashem. Hoiser b'nei temusa, please spare the children that are condemned to die, which means those neshamas that were lost in the Zerah Levatal, in the wasted seed, have rachmanis on them, and even though they're going to be put back into the klipos here in this world, let it be that Klal Yisrael will find a way to extract them and their kedusha from these klipos, from these impure shells of the world. And therefore a person should be frightened, face and unsettled. They should run to do a mitzvah, run away from an avera, and be very particular the way that you say the brachas abnen on things that you are getting benefit from. Because every food also has sparks of kedusha that's in it. And when you say a bracha properly on your glass of water, on your hamburger and fries, on your dessert that you're going to eat, When you make a bracha on an apple, on a grape, on something like that nature, on a candy bar, there's Kedusha that's in there, sparks that Hashem put into this world. You release them when you say the bracha. And therefore you have to be very careful to make sure you say brachas properly. And if you don't, in nefesh, you are destroying a nefesh. You don't know what sparks are in that piece of meat that you are eating, that delicious, sumptuous steak that you can have for dinner tonight, or that chicken, or that fish, or those eggs. You don't know what's inside of there. And if you say the bracha in the right way, you're releasing Kedusha into this world. All of your actions should be for the sake of heaven. Make sure that you speak properly according to the Torah. The midah b'mishkal b'meshura should be measured out. It should be appropriate the way that you speak. And then we will see the sprouting of the horn of salvation speedily in our days. Amen. May it be Hashem's will, which means we have such koyach, such powers inside of ourselves. We don't even realize it. You learn, you daven, you say brachas, you do mitzvahs. You're releasing the sparks of Kedusha wherever you are in your life, whether you're in America, whether you're in Eretz Yisrael, whether you're in South Africa, it doesn't matter where you are. There are nitzotzis of Kedusha everywhere. And the reason you walk down that street, and the reason you ate that food, and the reason you went into that store is because there's Kedusha that you can bring out if you do things in a way that's going to be a nachas ruach liyotzor, the greatest pleasure that you can bring to Hashem. All the best.